Welcome in. It is the CHGO Bears Podcast on an outstanding day to talk Caleb Williams with my guy, Gregory P. Allen Braggs. Legs and all, baby. You're getting the full Braggs on this.
Getting the legs in. You're going to get it all summer, whether you like it or not. It's summertime.
No one likes it, but that's the choice that you're making, and hey, you do you. We're about to talk with Randy Trivers, who was Caleb Williams' high school football coach. But let me just remind you that, indeed, we are brought to you by Butcher Box. This is what you got to do. Go to butcherbox.com/CHGO. They're offering you an amazing offer where you can get free meat plus $20 off your first box. Butcherbox.com/CHGO. We are creeping up on 55K subscribers. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell somebody about the show. Pass it along. We're trying to grow as fast as possible here at CHGO, and that's why we are bringing in the heavy hitters here. Let's bring in our guy, Randy Trivers, head coach, Gonzaga High School, and Caleb Williams. Can we call you a mentor to Caleb? Would you say that is accurate or perhaps a little too tall?
Oh, sure. I mean, Caleb and I, have a strong history, all right, where I was his football coach and as he said, mentor and actually a teacher as well. All right. So I'm a teacher / coach. So yeah, I think you could say that's accurate.
Now you coach obviously, but you're in the English department here. Classic literature, African American literature. Did Caleb sit in the front of the class? Was he paying attention? Did you have to scold him? Did you have a Carman, myself like Caleb, who kind of like slinked in the back and was hoping not to get called on?
Well, yes and no. So I teach seniors. So Caleb's senior year happened to be the year that we all remember some remember. We remember strongly, maybe not fondly, and that's the COVID year. So our teaching experience when I had him as a student, of course, I was his coach and a teacher for his first 3 years, but I never had him in class. But the classroom experience was like this. It was virtual. All right. So you had to make sure that, hey, you see everybody on the screen. Hey, everybody's paying attention, and you're doing it. That was a whole different, experience. So he wasn't exactly in the front of the class, although our rule for our football players here at Gonzaga is that you got to sit in the front 2 rows.
Was he a cameras on guy on the Zoom? Did he have the camera on?
Oh yeah. Camera had to be on. That was Coach T classroom policy. Camera on for certain.
Pulling the Ferris Bueller, fake, little dummy, like acting like there's a person sitting there, but really there isn't, right? That's what I would have pulled.
Yeah. I don't know if you could pull up. We can hide those legs though, baby. Those legs you got going. you got me motivated to get in the gym, man. I gotta work my wheels a little bit.
There you go. I don't skip leg day twice a week, baby.
Wow! Congratulations. All right, let's move forward here, Coach. And look, everyone says that Caleb has been built for this and been ready for this. And actually, let me just start. His parents got him an apartment by himself when he was in high school, overlooking the field. Correct? Now, that's very rare that somebody in high school will be able to handle that. Did you sort of keep an extra eye on him because of all that was on his plate and how hard he was trying to, push himself to get there as quick as possible, be that guy who can get recruited and ultimately be the number one draft pick, which of course he is now?
Yeah, I mean, the Williams family was all in to do everything that they could do to make sure he was going to develop to his maximum potential. All right, so Gonzaga College High School is a place that has a very high standard relative to its academics, its athletics, its character education, and so putting him in his feet and boots on the ground, so to speak, literally, where he could be close by and maximize his time to learn and grow and develop. They were just all in for that, So you saw early on, Caleb had a strong, in his family, Caleb and his family had a strong commitment to really maximizing what he could be and what he ultimately has become and will continue to grow into being.
How common is that for you guys at Gonzaga, that for a student or a student athlete to have an apartment near the stadium? Like, is that something that some of your top line players and athletes or students in general do there?
Well, I mean, Gonzaga's it's a commuter school, not a community school. So we're in the heart of Washington, D.C., about 4 blocks from Union Station, which is a major transportation hub for the subway, for the Amtrak train, for buses, the whole 9 yards. So, it's typical that a lot of our students will travel, 30 to 60 to even 90 minutes one way to get to Gonzaga because of the quality of the education. So if a family can somehow maneuver to get closer, in this case, the Williamses did, they were able to sort of, you only have 24 hours in a day, to manage that time and budget that time properly to be successful. When you have as I said, like a standard of academic excellence and athletic excellence, then you got to be really, really good at budgeting that time. And so I think it was a strong move on their part to say, okay, how can we best help Caleb grow, develop, and I think that's a calculated move in terms of the commitment that the family has always had to make sure Caleb's developing in the best way possible.
Who did you talk with more, Coach, mom or dad, or do they both just kind of stay in the background?
Both are great folks, and probably dad, probably Carl more, just because football. They both love football and academics, but Carl probably, a little bit more on that football side of things, as dad, and his more rhythms and knowledge of the game. But they're both wonderful people.
See the King Richard movie, which is a profile on the Williams sisters, and Richard Williams, the dad, is heavily is played by Will Smith. It's an unbelievable movie. The look on your face, I don't think you have. Am I right about that? Yeah. Okay. Because so he had ideas about how he wanted his kid to play. Like, this is all tennis talk that probably no one cares about other than me, 'cause I'm a big tennis guy, Coach. But he wanted him he wanted his girls hitting with an open stance, which wasn't as popular back then. He wanted to be more creative. Would Carl ever say stuff like that to you? Like, hey, I'd love to see him, throw more on the move, Coach, and maybe that's uncomfortable for you. Was there ever any of those conversations?
Contrary to what somebody might think, Carl was very much, here he is, coach him. Here he is, coach, mentor him. Here he is, coach, develop him. Here he is, coach, push him. And so it was never had any issue like you're describing, in terms of maybe the helicopter hovering parent. Maybe it's the general manager dad that's got all the ideas for personnel and scheme. And Carl was very, very much, here he is, coach. And I think maybe, Carl's a smart guy, and a smart family. They do their research, whether it's going into the high school situation, transitioning, or it's him transitioning from high school to college, certainly from college to the NFL. They're keen, smart, thorough, detailed people, and you see that with Caleb. And so perhaps it was and I was very appreciative that they trusted myself and our coaching staff to do right by Caleb, and for him to come in here and grow in a certain way, and us to partnership in a productive way.
Well, yeah, you talk about the partnership and their decision to choose Gonzaga over DeMatha, and I'm assuming a lot of kids in the area over there, that's a tough decision for student athletes to decide where they want to play. So I not being from the area, is Gonzaga more academically driven? Not to take a side swipe at, your rival school, but I'm assuming that there's a little more academics involved in your expectations if you're going to come to a school like Gonzaga. And if that's the case, what was that process like for you guys to convince Caleb and his family that this was the best fit for him?
Well, I think Caleb, a student athlete of his caliber, he had all the choices. It's almost like him coming out of high school and into college. I mean, he pretty much had all of the choices where he wanted to go. So, not to pick at one school or another school in particular. We were fortunate to be able to convey to Caleb and his family, this is who we are. And we feel like this is who you are, and them figuring that, hey, this is the right fit for Caleb. So just like any college, any professional or organization or franchise, it's got to be the right fit. And Gonzaga is a 203 202 or 3-year-old school. So it's got tremendous tradition and legacy, and it's a place that is a tremendous academic education that people get while they're here, but also it carries beyond in terms of the Gonzaga brand and the strength and the network. But I think so that's certainly attractive to students or student athletes in this case. And then knowing that, hey, you have a chance to play in a really high-end football conference against high-end competition, and be coached in a way that will help you prepare not only to be really productive and successful as a high school player, but beyond, the student athlete with the dream of taking it to the next level in college, and in Caleb's case, taking it to the highest level. I think they maybe saw coming to Gonzaga as something that, hey, we can get a little bit of all of those things.
Had you ever had anybody start at quarterback as a freshman before him, Randy?
No, I had one that was no. I'm thinking back to 2001. I had a freshman that played in a game or two, but never a freshman that started. And certainly here at Gonzaga, my time here, he was the first freshman quarterback, certainly to start, which is I would have never thought that would happen. God bless. I said this in my lifetime, and I can't believe it happened. And so you Chicago people, I said, I don't know if there'll be a black president in my lifetime. And Barack Obama became the president. Fantastic, phenomenal. And I would have said the same thing. There's no way a freshman quarterback's going to start for Randy Trivers. A guy couldn't have all of those qualities. Now, if the team wasn't very good, then maybe there's a freshman quarterback, but I would just think, no, I think maybe a little bit too sophisticated, level of competition, all the level of leadership maturity that you need to be that guy. So, man, that's hard to do. But sure enough, like Barack Obama, my man Caleb Williams came in here and earned the starting quarterback position as a freshman.
You're old school, Randy, from what I can tell here. Only seniors can be captains. You made Caleb not only do it on the field, but he had to show that he understood all the plays right before he could get out there, so he had to give that commitment off the field as well. I don't know if you can have like an anecdotal story of just the work ethic that he showed off the field that got him to be as prepared as he could possibly be to play on the field, where he comes in and he asks you some question that you thought that was upper level, or he's sitting in some room by himself. Anything like that happened that pops to mind?
Yeah, I mean, Caleb, in coming here, the promise that I make to Caleb or any student athlete is, it's not going to be a number of times you're going to touch the ball. It's not going to be a number of times that you're going to have these plays on the field or this or that. It's more, I'm going to promise to love you. All right. And so what love means is you're going to get the pat on the back or the hug when you need it. And you're going to get the foot in your tail when you need it. And I think Caleb was all about that. And so coming into our program, for him to ascend rapidly, he showed some things, as you alluded to, that so talent is always at some level admired. But in our football culture, even in our school culture, it's more about who you are at the core. So it's the things that our football players really admire are work ethic, commitment, discipline, selflessness, those things that and you see that consistently. So when Caleb came in here, it was say, look, man, people are going to know you can spin it, and they can know you can run, and you're a good athlete. But if you're in that strength and conditioning workout and you can't cut it in that weight room in a way, not to say that you got to lift more than those other guys, but you better be right there set for set from start to finish. If you can in the conditioning workout in the field, run every one of those reps in that 90-degree heat, it's probably going to be that they're not going to look at you, trust in you, and believe in you the way that they need to. Not to say you got to run faster than all those seniors, but you better be able to do that. When you come in that meeting room, all right, and there are going to be questions asked of you from the previous day, the previous meeting, the previous session. You better be able to get on that board or spit it back out to the other guys in the room to know that, okay, this guy has what it takes to mentally prepare and do things a certain way. So he came in with the right mentality, and I always say, he wasn't. He had a great blend of humility and self-confidence. So as a young guy, just the way that he maneuvered, the way that he carried himself, you could see, all right, this guy, he has the right posture, the right demeanor, the right facial expressions, the right tone. He carries himself with confidence, but doesn't have to tell you, hey, I'm here, I'm better than you, I'm better than all you guys. It wasn't that type of thing. And then, but he was humble. He could be with the guys. They could make fun of him. He could laugh at himself. He wasn't too big for that. Whether it's carrying the ball bag or whatever you got to do as a freshman, he was all in for those things. So it was he endeared himself to his teammates early on with the qualities that aren't necessarily talent based, and he did that consistently. And I think I'm probably sure in his next level opportunity in the next level at Oklahoma and at USC, in some way, shape, or form, he endeared himself to his teammates, his coaches, that football culture, by being that person at the core.
Randy, stay right there. We got a couple more for you if you got time. Appreciate it. But I do want to remind people that Well, first of all, it's so good to have our friends at Shady Rays back on the program.
Yes.
And you want to get ready for the season ahead with the quality shades that are built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays, they've got you covered with the premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. That's right. They've got hundreds of options to choose from. You're going to get the perfect pair. They're going to have one in your style. When I wear my Shady Rays, I'm cooler than I look right now. I'll tell you that much. That's I probably should have them on. But listen, they're back and exclusive for you. Shady Rays, the best deal of the season. You go to shadyrays.com. Summer's here. Don't mess around. Get going. Use the code CHGO. 35% off the polarized sunglasses. They make your eyes feel so good. You look so good. The whole thing's going on. You want to try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. And if your shades ever go missing, they take an unexpected hit. You know it. You love it. Don't sweat it. They've got the most insane protection plan in all of eyewear. Every pair backed by their lost or broken replacements. You lose them, you break them. They will give you a new pair right back to you. No risk when you shop. Team's always there backing you with their personal and fast support. Thank you to our friends at Shady Rays. Get your sunglasses on.
Yes, sir. And I also want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Butcher Box. Incredible deals on premium cuts from Butcher Box. Deals this good are hard to come by at the grocery store. Sometimes you have trouble when you get into the grocery store trying to find quality meats, high quality meats, and seafood you can trust. 100% grass-fed beef, free-range or organic chicken, pork, pork-raised, crate-free, and wild-caught seafood. No antibiotics or added hormones. Free shipping always. Curated to customized box plans delivered right to your doorstep. Like I said, a variety of high-quality cuts at an amazing value, exclusive member deals, recipe, inspiration, guides, tips, and hacks. They got it all. Super convenient, less trips to the grocery store, always prepared with meat in the freezer, curated tips and recipes based on your box value. So yeah, make sure you hit up Butcher Box. They're offering our listeners an amazing offer where new users get free meat plus $20 off your first box. Join today using our link, butcherbox.com/CHGO, and use code CHGO to receive this exclusive offer today before time runs out.
Randy Trivers, head coach at Gonzaga High School, with us here on CHGO Bears. Randy, what's the worst thing the Chicago Bears can do as they develop Caleb Williams? What's something they could do wrong?
I mean, I think the Bears need to challenge him in terms of making sure that this is a high level athlete, and that in the way he's wired and built, he loves challenge. So you want to challenge him, hold him, and he's not afraid to be held accountable. So challenge, accountability, and then believe in him. Like he can do things that like don't place a box or limit him because he can do some unbelievable things. As from 30,000 feet, everybody, probably all the fans in Chicago, that's why they're cheering when Caleb Williams selected with the number 1 pick. We know he can do those things, but in his continued development, and when you're laying out the plans for him, he's you don't want to put a box around this guy. He can do some phenomenal things.
We all saw that with the famous DeMatha game where you guys, had a few different lead changes, and he throws a game-winning Hail Mary pass, to end it. And we have been, on the wrong end of a lot of quarterbacks, especially here in this division, obviously with Green Bay, with some quarterbacks that refuse to lose. I'm assuming this is the kind of mentality that this guy will bring here to Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you got to love, just thinking about how he's wired and what he is. You bring up that particular instance in a high school championship game where he makes a tremendous play at the end of a back and forth game. I think the critical thing there is just understanding the moments of those moments. He's the guy that really wants that that stage. He wants to be able to throw the ball like that dude that wore 23 in your city, that in those moments he wanted to be shooting the rock. And then that's a place and a space where a lot of athletes, they might tell you sitting on the couch, yeah, I would love to take the last shot or throw the last pass or, be at the plate for the last at bat. But in reality, that's a tough place to be. And, but Caleb Williams, I think what the city's going to love is he really, really, truly desires to be in those positions. And then knowing that as a teammate, as a fan, as a coach, you always know you have a chance. There's a feeling in your heart and in your mind that if there's time on the clock and this guy has the rock, we got a chance, a real chance. And I know, I'm not saying that he's Michael Jordan, but just as relative to the city of Chicago, I think everybody can relate to knowing, hey, if it was a basketball game in that town, and there was time on the clock, and he had a chance, you all believed that it was going to happen, whether it was teammates, coaches, people cheering for the Bulls, and I think Caleb will bring that same spirit to the city.
Obviously, this is a guy that plays with a lot of emotion, and you saw that at times last year. Did it, like, the way, so he wins the Heisman, everybody loves him, he's, the darling of college football, and then he goes into this year with a lot of hype, and then it's met with a lot of criticisms, not a lot of it being on the field, but some of the way he carried himself off the field, particularly when he showed his emotion with his parents after a tough loss, in a game that, might have cost their season or ended their season. Did that piss you off at all to watch the way people criticized his emotions in that moment and questioning the kind of character and maturity that he may have as a person?
Yeah, it's kind of laugh it off, to be honest with you. I mean, it's, so I'd be concerned if Caleb Williams was showing those type of emotions, shedding tears in the middle of the third quarter after he throws an interception. I'd be concerned if he fumbled the ball in the second quarter and the fourth quarter and he goes to the sideline and starts to break down and crying. I'm not the least bit concerned that at the end of the battle, you let that emotion go. Not the least bit. In fact, I love it. I can tell you this. I'm sure that I'd like to see more of it, to be honest with you. Like back in the day in Chicago when number 51 was Buckus was playing, at the end of games, they weren't taking selfies and smiling when you lose. And these days you see a lot of that going on, and not enough of I think I'm a little bit old school, but not enough of, hey, I really give a what about winning and losing. All right, winning so much that you might shed tears of joy because you've invested mind, body, and spirit in something that means that much. All right, and people that have never felt that, they've never done athletics in a way or had experiences in a way that, man, you are all in. And Caleb is all in. So if I'm in the city of Chicago, I'm loving that the dude with the ball is mind, body, spirit, all in enough to shed that emotion, whether we win or we lose. I have, I laugh at some of those folks, but we know, Caleb knows it. We know it. It goes with the territory. When you are really, really good at something or elite at something, there's going to be adversaries. There's going to be naysayers. There's going to be people that are always going to want to find something wrong, some blemish. And I think he does a good job and will continue to do a good job of weathering that type of storm.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, Coach. I don't know if you remember it, but you as the freshman quarterback, you guys got to the championship game. You lost. He cried then. Somehow, some way, he was able to come back next year. And the game we were talking about, he threw for the Hail Mary game.
Yep.
He threw for 358 yards, 3 touchdowns. He rushed for 113 yards, ran 2 in, caught a pass for a touchdown. He had 8 touchdowns in the game. He accounted for 6 of them. And I don't know, Coach, if you were crying because you called for the squib kick, right? And then they take that back, and you think the game's over, you're going to lose, and you got 15 seconds or whatever it was, and he rescues you. Like, if you go back to that moment in time, were you kicking yourself for your decision to squib kick it, which is of course the standard play there? But I'm wondering, like, what was going through your mind as a head coach watching that play happen, and then here comes, like, were you thinking, oh, there's time left, or like, oh my God, we just blew the championship on a squib kick?
No, I mean, it was one of those games where we were down quite a bit early. Battle back, down again quite a bit, halfway or so through the game, battle back. You finally take the lead with 30 seconds. And as you said, we lost the lead 10 seconds later. And, it was one of those deals where you kick off so many times. You talk about the squib kick, you kick off to an explosive kickoff return team so many times. They've got explosive athletes. They scheme you up. So you say, and then we could not put it in the end zone because there was a 15-yard celebration penalty prior to that play of the touchdown that we took the lead. So, I stand by that call of making the squib kick, but they just did a hell of a job of fielding it, blocking it up. The ball carrier did a hell of a job, and they scored. So we had, I think, 20 seconds when they kicked off, 10 when Caleb took the field with no timeouts, 2 plays and 65 yards to go, and he hits a play to put us in striking distance, 54 yards away from the end zone, and then with 4 seconds, he hits the touchdown pass. So yeah, it was, and trust me, my man, we were crying tears of joy after that one, and I can recall embracing a lot of our players and coaches and family and so forth, and Caleb and I having a great embrace, and I think we even had it on video. I love you, Coach, I love you, and there's great tears of joy after that. So, yeah, hell of a memory, and hopefully he'll win a lot of games in Chicago, but maybe not have to have it be like cardiac arrest as far as the endings, but hopefully a lot of dubs like that.
We'll take cardiac arrest. That's quite fine. Has he reached out to you since being drafted, Coach? Was there any texts, any calls, anything back and forth? Are you letting him settle into his new life here?
Yeah, he's a busy dude right now for sure. But we had a chance to embrace, as my boots were on the ground there in Detroit in the post draft, and so that was great to just feel his genuine excitement and. For this accomplishment and just how jacked up he is to be a part of the Chicago community, man.
Did you freak out like I did when the Bears got Rome Odunze?
Well, I tell you what, having great targets for my guy is awesome because you cannot do this alone. But I must confess, and don't get mad at me for this, I was hoping for the stars to align like an eclipse, and the Bears would pick Olu Fashanu, who was also Caleb's teammate. Yep. So you can't blame the coach dad in me, thinking about, man, if those guys could have played together in Chicago. And I was saying, oh, man, number 9 pick, they might take him. And, of course, Olu went to the Jets in number 11. But Rome is a hell of a player, So I'm hoping that he's on the other end of a lot of those Caleb Williams passes and getting in the end zone.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely felt like there was a chance Olu could be taken. Obviously, a very talented player. You guys had a lot of talent on that team.
He's being nice right now, Coach. The guy was literally crying when they picked Rome Odunze.
Yes.
If they had said Olu Fashanu, you would have had a heart attack. Which that's nothing against Olu.
Listen. As long as we're helping the quarterback was my whole point. Certainly excited to have Rome Odunze in here. So I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. You say don't put a box on Caleb Williams. The Bears are coming off a 7-win season where, the game was in the balance on a few that went the wrong way. and they could have ended up with a winning season. So they're not your typical team that normally picks number one. So for fans and a lot of these veteran players on this team, there's expectation to win. We have Cole Kmet on weekly, tight end for the Bears. You know, they're ready to start winning. But a rookie quarterback's coming in, and obviously there's always a tempered expectation for his development and, you know, timing and rhythm of the offense with the receivers that he's working with. But at the same time, do you think that Caleb Williams can come here this rookie season and do the kind of year that CJ Stroud had and come out and have, you know, just a, you know, standout year and kind of supersede what we're used to seeing at the quarterback position here in Chicago?
No doubt. I mean, I think, football, as we know, is a team game. There's a lot of things that have to happen over the course of a 17-game season in terms of continuity and people being healthy. I mean, in that league, you got to have the right guys healthy. And if that happens in a relatively in a strong way, I mean, I think, you know, the Bears certainly have the pieces to be a not only make it to the playoffs, but win in the playoffs. And I would say that I would never underestimate Caleb Williams. You know, so I'm not saying that the Bears are going to go win the Super Bowl in his rookie year, but if it happened, I wouldn't be shocked. Just saying, like, so, like, it's like the Heisman Trophy. When people say, "Oh, did you know?" I said, "No, I would have never told you that Caleb Williams is going to win the Heisman Trophy. I knew he was a hell of a player, but the Heisman Trophy is very rare." But, you know, when he did it, it didn't shock me just because of what he is and the times over and over and over again that I witnessed this person do things that say, wow, you know, that like the first time he does something, you think, is that luck? But then you start, you know, every week or two he does something and you say, man, this dude is he's like a Jedi or something. It's, you know, it's from another deal, something different. And so when I say, yeah, I think that the Bears have some really nice pieces. They've done a good job of their organization of putting together a good ball team. But they've got to stay healthy. They got to gel and do all those things that we know have to happen for good teams. But I think, you know, I would not be surprised that for them to have some really, really good success this year and be a NFL playoff team. And I know I'm gonna be rooting for them to go win every doggone game this year.
We're winning the Super Bowl. We all know.
Well, if you come to Chicago for a game, you're cordially invited to come to our tailgate and have some fun.
We got you, Randy. Okay, I got last quick three for you. They don't need to be quick, but I'll try to be prompt here. Why did he have the most fumbles in all of college football last year, Coach? What's he doing wrong? How do you boil that down? I don't know how much you got to, you know, we're watching every game, but that's one thing that Bears fans are slightly concerned about, let's say.
Yeah, well, maybe the Gonzaga ball security, our ball security fundamentals of high and tight. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he forgot those things, or maybe they weren't emphasizing them quite enough because we don't fumble very often here at the G. No, you know, I think Caleb's always going to be doing his best to try to make plays and try to do things that are extraordinarily outstanding for his team to have an opportunity to win. So in doing that, sometimes you're going to have turnovers, whether it's interceptions or fumbles. But I would think more time than not, Caleb will put the ball in the right hands when he releases it, and he'll keep the ball in the right hands as a ball carrier. So I think I wouldn't be overly concerned with the turnover piece.
So there's a lot of talk about timing, and he's going to, you know, play in structure. He was a right foot forward quarterback in college. Geno Smith was left foot forward. Russ was right foot forward. I'm bringing those guys in, obviously, because Shane Waldron coached him. If they messed with his footwork and said, hey, Caleb, I don't know if they'll do this or not. I would think they'd let him play how he wants to play. But if they said, hey, Caleb, we want you to play this way so you'll play on time, do you think that'd be a big mistake?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always going to be a little bit of, hey, this is our system. This is what we believe in. This is what you are, and sort of finding a way to make that mesh, make that match. I think when you have an athlete of that caliber, yeah, I mean, there are parameters. As I said, there are certain things that we did here that said, hey, this is the way we're going to do it. But also understanding, like, having enough flexibility within what you do and enough versatility in what you do to say, okay, let's fit this piece here or do this way, and maybe alter so that it makes the most sense for us to have the best overall success. So I think it's like in leadership, it's important to be able to listen with your eyes and your ears in a way that says, okay, I see what this athlete is. I see what this student is. I see what this assistant coach is. Be able to say, okay, let's see how we could best utilize this person's talents, assets, their gifts to fit into the overall structure of what we're doing. So I think the Chicago Bears got smart people in the front office, smart people on the coaching staff. I think they'll handle them well.
All right, and last one here, Coach. You brought up Michael. So I don't know if you ever heard of Bobby Knight. I'm guessing you have. R.I.P. to the General, one of the greatest to ever do it. He said he coached MJ in the '84 Olympics, and he came out of it and he said he called him the greatest player he's ever seen play before he set foot in the NBA. And of course, the General was right and will forever be right. Damn it. What would you say to get to have? We'll have it. We got it on taper. A General style quote, if you want to, on how far is up for Caleb Williams on what this guy's going to go down as.
Wow. Well, I can't put myself on the level of the General for sure. All right, so I'm not even close. In terms of Bobby Knight, which one of his books are on my shelf over there. But I would say don't be shocked when it's all said and done. As I've said, in his time here and his time since, that it does not surprise me that this person was the Heisman Trophy winner. It would not have surprised me if he did it like Archie did, be the second one to do it twice. And he went for it now, and it was rolling in that direction. Had a hell of a season. Then it didn't surprise me that he was the first pick in the NFL draft. And fellas, I will not be shocked, and it won't surprise me if you're looking at a multi-year All-Pro player and Super Bowl champion when it's all said and done, and ultimately, a guy wearing that gold jacket one day. All right, and that's big talk. I'm not the General, but I've been around this dude long enough to say nothing surprises me.
Actually, what's the nickname they got for you, Coach?
Yeah.
What's the player's nickname for you?
And I'm just plain old Coach T, man. Coach T.
Coach T.
So, yep.
We got a Coach T on Bears Twitter.
I'm throwing out one more here and Randy, we appreciate you giving us a ton of time. I know you're busy, and thank you so much. Do you ever see him do like a Jordan get on guys type of if you're not coming correct, it's gonna be a problem. You're either gonna play the way and put the effort forward. Kobe did the same thing. Anything like that, where if he saw somebody not giving what was needed, that he would step into sort of an uncomfortable zone and call guys out?
Yeah, I mean, Caleb's not afraid to step forward and say or do what needs to be done in those situations. So he's a highly competitive dude, very, very competitive, like some of the guys you just mentioned. And he's going to demand excellence, and he has the respect of his teammates. So I think if you're a guy that is about the talk but not about the action, that's hard to inspire or demand that and get the right response. But I think Caleb Not to say that's what his personality is, that he's always barking at people or always, but if need be, I'm certain he is not and would not be shy about letting people know, hey, this is what we need to be doing right now.
Coach, we'll see you in Canton in about 25 years, all right?
He's coming to our tailgate first. Well, I mean, they're starting in Canton, right? The Hall of Fame game.
That's true, but I'm talking about the real Canton.
Then it's going to end in Canton is the hope. Yeah. So,
hey, Randy, congrats on all your success, championships, and leadership, and in the classroom, on the field. And it's been a pleasure just connecting with you this week and having you on the show today. So just really appreciate your time, and just thanks for making all of it for us today.
Appreciate you guys. And I can't wait to witness this season and beyond as a Chicago Bear fan.
Let's go. Welcome to the family. Just stay off Bears Twitter.
Stay off Bears Twitter. Doors open for you at Chicago, Coach. We'll see you, all right?
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate you.
All right. Randy Trivers, head coach at DeMatha.
It was fun.
I mean, yeah. I'm ready to go to Canton in 25 years. Why not? All right.
We're going to Canton in August. I want to go to Canton.
We're sending you. You're going.
I'd like to.
That'd be great.
Devin Hester getting in.
That'd be someone's
Bears
going.
First game.
I'm sure. Hey, if you want to go,
I want to go.
Be Nick's caddy.
I'll be Nick's caddy.
I'll talk to upper management and make sure that happens. All right. Well, lot going on.
Jake's over there.
We'll try to jam into the rest of the show here. But first, let me tell you about our friends Prize Picks, the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America, the easiest and most exciting way to play it. Look, spring training's over. Baseball's here. Don't worry about the White Sox wins and losses. All you got to do, pick more than or less than on any 2 to 6 player stats. You can go less than on an Andrew Benintendi if you want to. Go more than on a Nico Horner. You can have plays on both sides of town. Or get in on the playoff action. Win up to 100 times on your money on Prize Picks as you take on yourself and your own genius. It is something for every single sports fan out there. NBA playoffs, you can do that. More than, less than. Come on. Milwaukee Bucks staying alive. This is what you do. You go to prizepicks.com/CHGO. You use the code CHGO. First deposit match up to $100. So $2 for every $1 that you put in. prizepicks.com/CHGO. Use that pick, CHGO. Daily fantasy sports. Put your skills to work. It's a beautiful thing. Pick more, pick less. It is that easy.
I want to tell you about our friends over at Family Farms. Are you passionate, Carm?
I'm the most passionate person you know.
Are you dedicated?
I'm so dedicated.
Are you committed?
Every single day.
That's right, you are. And so is Family Farms. Their culinary journey is woven with those things to craft the finest bacon-wrapped chicken, a timeless delicacy that has tantalized taste buds since 1974 when Carm was just graduating high school. At Family Farms, they're more than just a traditional name. We've evolved into a gourmet. They've evolved into gourmet delights, signature bacon wrapped chicken. Nothing better than bacon wrapped chicken, leading the way. Join us on our flavorful adventure where every bite tells a story of tradition, quality, and the enduring spirit of Family Farms. The tradition continues. Now you can find Family Farms bacon wrapped chicken even easier. Look for them in the meat department at your local Woodman's and Mariano's. Craving a taste of home without leaving yours? They are thrilled to announce their arrival on the Amazon Marketplace, so you don't even have to leave your home to get Family Farms. Experience the flavor that's become a family favorite for generations. Visit your nearest Woodman's or Mariano's, or visit our new Amazon Marketplace store today.
So DJ Moore was speaking about the Bears offense and about Caleb and a little bit, I suppose, about Justin. And this is making its way around the old Twitter sphere. Mm-hmm. I was about to say the other thing, but I'm just going to keep it that way. And we could play it, I guess, and just and have a little reaction here.
Sure.
So now I will caution everybody. I don't think he's trying to say anything bad about anyone. I don't think he's trying to raise the bar too high or put it too low.
Carm digging.
Yeah.
Let's hear what he says.
Joey, we good? Can we hear from the Bears' number one wide receiver on what could be better this year?
Anticipation is there. You can tell that he's expecting us to be open at a certain time. So that's going to be one of the things that's better. But I mean, just got to be on the same page with him going forward. And it's just going to take some time. Maybe it's going to be fast, or it might take some time. But I'm hoping it's fast though.
So it might take some time. It might be fast. But one thing that's going to be better is what people jumped on, that the new quarterback coming in throws with anticipation.
Yep.
A little better time, and the old quarterback did not do that. And DJ has been the most positive Justin Fields guy of all time. So, people are different quarterbacks at different skill sets that make them great.
Wasn't going to demand a trade for those that put that out there.
But I just think it's worth playing and underlining that the team is
moving
moving forward.
Yep.
And now we've got all this structure talk in Caleb and right foot forward, left foot forward. The Bears, I thought that was worth mentioning, though, when we're talking to Randy, because the Bears, different, Luke Getsy was here, and the Bears switched Justin's footwork.
Right.
And it took him a while to get comfortable playing a different way. This is the same head coach, but different OC. So I do wonder, are they going to, if the offense is on time, I don't know why they wouldn't let him play however he is most comfortable playing. But if the offense is not on time, then he might have to switch up his footwork. And that might be that is a significant adjustment. And then he's thinking out there a little bit before he is just reacting and playing. So these are kind of, just some things that could slow down the Bears from, week one, the offense.
Yeah, as I've said, had some goofball on Twitter going, don't, these pansies at CHGO, go all in for Caleb and mark him as the MVP that you think he is.
Pansies?
Yeah,
Who
I know.
said that?
Well,
it's an accurate statement, actually. Congratulations. Good haze.
Well, it's to try to set this up if he doesn't meet X expectations, then the I told you soers are going to come in. But, I seen somebody else in the chat say, I have high expectations for the season, but I'm not going to come off the fact I won't forget the fact that he is a rookie. And that's fair to keep that in perspective. I have high expectations for this season and for Caleb Williams and for this team. But at the same time, there is a development that's going to have to take place. They're installing an entirely new offense, regardless of who the quarterback is. This is a new offense for everyone. And so timing and anticipation and rhythm and those consistencies, those take a long time to come together. Now, does that mean that they can't be competitive until they are clicking on all cylinders? Of course not. I guarantee they'll be competitive. Now, how long will it take before they can do this with their eyes closed? How long before they're hitting back shoulder fades the way Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams were? That's going to take time, I'm assuming. I'm not going to put a box on anything like Coach Trivers just said earlier. So, to me, it's going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds at training camp, because there's a new quarterback and a new offensive system to take place.
So I'm going to go on the record right here. Mark, Joey's producing today. Feel free to mark the tape. I believe that Caleb Williams will lead his first fourth quarter comeback in the Bears' third game of the season. Don't know the schedule. Don't know where they're playing. Don't know if they're at home. Okay. Don't know if they're away. Don't know the level of talent. I'm going to say 3 games in, we're going to have a Caleb moment. And when we have that Caleb moment, that Caleb fourth quarter, I don't know what the town's going to do, but it's going to go completely crazy, and you probably won't even be able to handle doing the show that day.
Yeah, no, you know how, I mean, you saw how I was week 1 last year, and the hype and anticipation going into that, and then the letdown of losing to Green Bay. Obviously, Green Bay plays in Brazil against the Eagles week 1, so it'll be interesting. My money is on Detroit as the opener, whether it's in Detroit or in Chicago. I think that's going to be the question. So, I don't know. To me, yes, DJ Moore says, throwing it with anticipation is going to be better. So, I mean, clearly we all understood that about Justin. Justin was a see it and throw it guy. That's who he was. Now, was there times that he threw it with anticipation? Of course. I'm not saying he's incapable of it, but his whole issue was that he didn't do it with consistency. And Caleb Williams makes all the throws. He can rip it. He can throw it 70 yards downfield on a dime. He can throw it over the linebacker on the seam and drop it in the bucket. He's got all these different arm angles to get the ball out. When they're on the goal line and a pass rusher's coming in free, makes a little flick of the wrist the way Aaron Rodgers. This guy's got all the tools in his bag, and now it's just about coming together with his coaching staff, getting continuity with the understanding of the offense, and the developing timing and chemistry with the wide receivers. But with DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, couple savvy veterans who are already working with Caleb Williams and mentoring a guy like Rome Odunze, I do have high hopes that it'll come together sooner rather than later. If you look, C.J. Stroud took him some time, and then all of a sudden they took off. If you looked at Jordan Love last year, yes, he was in his 4th year. About halfway through the season, it took them time. It wasn't pretty to start, but then all of a sudden it took off like a rocket ship. And their wide receivers, they didn't have a Devontae Adams on that team. So I think it's fair to expect them to eventually at some point this season, hopefully in the first half of the season, have figured it out. And then until then, the defense, the special teams, and the coaching keeping their head above water until then.
Have you bought a Bears Caleb jersey?
I have not bought a Bears Caleb Williams jersey yet. I mean, they're just so far on back order. To me, there's going to be 9 million Caleb Williams jerseys for sale. It's not going to be that hard to get one, but I do have the Caleb Williams USC jersey that I wore on draft night. So I have already bought a Caleb Williams jersey.
Right, you've got the 13 USC, but you're a Bears guy, and that jersey's sweet, but you need an 18.
It is a sweet jersey.
So
sometimes going college threads is cooler.
What's interesting to me about this DJ Moore comment is they threw together one time, confirmed. Like, It's not like this is coming out after training camp. It was one throwing session, and he's already like, yeah, there's going to be a different expectation for us to be open, and it goes both ways. It's one time. Who knows, what's going to carry over, but that's what stood out to me. Right. Strong comment.
Well, and he's a good teammate. So when Justin was on the team, he had great things to say about Justin. Caleb Williams is on the team. Now he's going to start gassing up his guy.
Well, he's also seen, I would assume although DJ seems like he's, got a life outside of football, at least a little bit. But I'm sure he's watched Caleb play and sees the anticipatory throws. So that adds into his comment. He also played with Justin and saw what that was as far as the anticipatory throws. It's just a simple question for you and the chat. If you are a jersey buying person.
I am, and I hate jersey shamers. Anybody shaming people wearing a jersey can rot in hell.
Are you a jersey buyer, Joey?
I don't know what the last jersey I bought is, but yeah, I have some jerseys.
Do you think it's weird for grown men to go to games wearing a jersey as if they're on the team?
No. I don't think it's weird to go to a game wearing a jersey.
Yeah. Okay. If you don't want to wear a jersey, totally fine. If you shame people that wear jerseys, you are a loser. Because if you have issue with people that enjoy things in life, then you are a miserable human being.
Are you talking to me?
I am talking to the camera. And I am telling those people that want to jersey shame other individuals that you guys need to go find happiness, find some passion in your life, and find somewhere to bitch about something else, because if I want to wear a jersey, I'm going to wear a jersey
Something
all day
about
long.
like a nice, authentic jersey, the stitching, it's a little heavier.
How many Bears jerseys do you have?
A lot.
Well, who do you got?
A lot.
Like who? You can't use your brain going
Like
blank?
all of them.
Like all of them?
Yeah. Like
So do you have any one that you wish you hadn't bought?
Jared Allen.
You bought
69.
You bought a Jared Allen jersey.
Yes. Every year, my tradition at camp was to get one jersey to start camp.
So Jared Allen.
Typically, it would either be the player I was most excited about coming into the year. And yeah, one year we signed Jared Allen.
Did you have to get rid of your Claypool jersey or?
I didn't get a Claypool jersey.
Okay.
No Claypool jersey. So I dodged that bullet.
So
What's the most obscure jersey?
well,
I mean, the Jared Allen Bears one is
but-
probably my most obscure, for sure.
I mean, he was 32 years old. He'd been in the league for a decade. He'd been with the Vikings forever. He, of course, started with the Chiefs. He's here for a minute, and you were like, I'm going Jared Allen?
Seemed like he's like, I mean, we had traded for or signed Julius Peppers. That worked out.
Did you have a Peppers jersey?
Oh, yeah. I got Peppers signed my jersey. It's one of the nicest autographs I ever got at training camp.
Do you have a closet where they're all hanging? How do you take care of these
No,
jerseys?
eventually I'm gonna frame all my signed jerseys. This is a flex here, so, but I used to be a big jersey autograph hunter, in general.
You still are.
Memorabilia.
A little bit. Not as bad as I used to be.
Okay, fair enough.
Not as bad as I used to be. I used to just like anybody get like 1 million autographs on a flag or on a ball, and then I finally started to realize no, these aren't special because now I've got Devin Hester's autograph right next to a player on the practice squad.
Patrick Scales. Hester Scales.
Yeah, I'm not going to throw
shout out
shots.
Patrick Scales.
Devin Aroma should do. Come on. So
Loved Aroma should do.
So then I started to get jerseys to specific players that I liked. And so, yeah, I have about 50 signed Bears jerseys.
50.
Probably.
Okay.
I have about 70 total signed jerseys. I have a Steph Curry Davidson jersey signed. That's pretty sweet.
There you go. Okay.
Got Hester's college and pro jersey signed.
Uh-huh.
That's the Hester college one's
Do you
my
have an
favorite.
Aroma should do?
No Devin Aroma should
You're
do.
not wearing these though.
No. They're all hidden somewhere safely, and one day I will frame them all very nicely.
Who do you have from the Cutler era? Did you get a Cutler?
No, Cutler was one of the only guys I didn't because I wasn't a big Cutler guy.
Okay. Did you get a Forte?
Yep, I got a Forte.
You got an Urlacher?
Actually, I used to have a Forte, and then I gifted it to a friend.
So
I no longer have a Forte.
Did you have an Alshon Jeffrey?
I have an Alshon, got a Brandon Marshall,
You got a Peanut?
got a Peanut, got a Briggs.
Did you have
got an Urlacher?
Desmond Clark?
Finally got Urlacher this year when he came to. That took me forever.
What's the oldest one you got? You got a Mike Brown?
Marcus Robinson is my oldest signed Bears jersey.
All right.
I have
No
a
Mike Brown, man. I would love a Mike Brown.
I've got a
Thomas
good one.
Jones.
I've got a Patrick Manley jersey.
That's tight.
I don't know how I came into the possession of it. I just showed up in my closet one day, but I don't know how many of those exist, honestly. Might have been a custom job.
This is an interesting split down the middle. I see you grunt for Stallone. It's weird to wear a jersey as a full-grown adult.
It's weird for you to worry about what other full-grown adults do.
See,
I don't worry about what Grunt for Stallone does, and so you don't worry about what I do or anybody else does, and we're all copacetic.
Okay,
How does that sound, Grunt?
All right, I don't want to have you fight half the chat. So let me.
Well, I'm already gonna fight Elric later. You can meet me at Comiskey later, Elric, and me and you, guy. And then if Grunt wants to come, I'll put a jersey on him.
All right. So, for the record, you should just stay on your own side, and the people.
No.
Yes, you should.
No, because I didn't shame them. They shamed me. They started it.
That's just their opinion.
No.
It's not personal.
They're shaming.
It's not a personal. I mean, I think it's weird, a little bit weird.
It's not weird.
But
You're weird.
But I've got. What jerseys do you think I have? If you had to guess.
Oh Jesus.
Michael Jordan.
There you go. I got a 45 White Sox Jordan. I got a 23 MJ.
What Do you have any? Because I know all the media guys were.
I bought Sanborn.
I know all the media guys were slipping stuff out of the lockers back in the day. Do you have any Jordan stuff from the Jordan days? You know what I mean? Because I hear all these stories about I got this.
Nobody was slipping Jordan jerseys out.
No, of course you're not taking a Jordan jersey. But is there anything from when you were covering the team? Do you have any like keepsake from the Jordan era? You're not going to get fired. Jake will keep you employed. That you may or may not have kept as a keepsake from your covering Jordan.
Nothing
days.
from covering. No.
Oh my God! I would have been that whole locker room would have been raided if I was there.
Yeah. Okay.
I put him on the spot there. Now I think he's lying.
No.
He's got Jordan shoes at his house.
I like Dr. Truth saying, "What's your problem, Jim? Staring at the show, distracting
us
right now."
Jim?
Okay.
Listening. He says he's listening.
Damn it.
Sid Luckman jersey for Carman. You're funny, Dr. Truth. I don't have a Luckman. But I would love to have.
Coup coach? That's a good guess.
No, I don't. No. I'm both too cheap and think it's too weird to be spending that type of dough on jerseys. You're a little more.
I have a signed Michael Jordan jersey. Went to his basketball camp as a kid.
Good job. My question is this:
Elmhurst College.
All right, hold on. I got one more question for you, and then
second in the 3-point contest in my age bracket, which I was 10. I choked in the championship.
It's all right. Hey, if you want to hang out with us, by the way, in London before we say goodbye today, True Fan Travel, come with us to London. We are, along with True Fan Travel, your passport to the world of sports and your passport to the Bears dominating whoever the hell they play in London, with Caleb Williams throwing 17 touchdown passes. It's going to be hassle-free. The plans are going to be made by the travel experts. They're going to put you in a spot where literally every detail is covered. Game day, excursions, Bragg's avoidance if you want, or hang with him. It'll all be covered in the plans. It's beautiful. And by the way, they go everywhere too. Wide selection, destinations, all the iconic sports cities. But for us, you come to London, 4 to 5 star hotel accommodations. We're going to have a welcome event. There's going to be a boat cruise. There's going to be an all-inclusive tailgate. You're going to be sitting in a beautiful upper level seat. Hopefully that'll be not in the corner of the end zone, but even if it is, we're going to make it work. While I don't know where the seats are. They're going to be great. Let's say it like that.
First row.
Breakfast at the hotel every morning. We'll have a meet and greets, the whole thing. Come with us to London. True Fan Travel. Let's go. And if you go to our website, allchgo.com, you can sign yourself on up. Put down a deposit, allchgo.com.
And if you go to allchgo.com/diehard, you can become a diehard and get discounts on our events, get a free shirt. We have the franchise collection that just dropped. So if you become a diehard, I saw somebody in our chat right at the start of the show turned 51 today, Joey. So happy birthday
is it Paul Hopkins?
Yeah, Paul Hopkins turned 51 today and has become a diehard. So shout out to Paul. I know you're going to give your own special shout out, but when you become a diehard at allchgo.com, you get a free shirt. So you can get your franchise collection shirt. They all just dropped here recently. Really good designs. So celebrate the start of a new era here in Chicago football with your franchise shirt, and you get exclusive, offerings like Adam Hogue's weekly newsletter and all the sports across CHGO. They do such a great job. We're in the middle of baseball season. Cubs, 18 wins, heading into May, fighting for a division. Let's go.
Well, shout out to our diehards, and since it's Paul's birthday, we will shout out Paul first. And Paul wanted me to do it in Michael voice. It's certainly Paul.
Have you heard this yet, Joey?
Certainly.
This is Mark's Michael Jordan impersonation, so enjoy.
Listen, certainly Paul brings a practicality to his practicalness.
What do you think, Joey?
That you must appreciate, that I appreciate.
Jump off a bridge with
and
me?
Paul is a principled practitioner of numerous practitioners, and we thank you for being a diehard Paul, and we're proud, quite frankly, quite naturally, of Paul and his perseverance and his perceptiveness and his
I hope Michael Jordan sues
precipitation. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate you. Jonathan, the captain, has joined us, man. Jonathan goes about things in the right way every single day. Jonathan shows up with a readiness that, quite frankly,
left tackle
is it's something that I admire. Also, yeah, sure, he's a protector. Jonathan not only protects his friends, he protects his family, he protects the people around him, he protects his coworkers. Jonathan is a guy that you just feel safe around. And Jonathan
Pizzatola
is one of our. What did Pizzatola do?
Pizzatola said, "Braggs, punch him."
You settle down, Pizzatola. Braggs, I got bad news. We lost the Sox tickets today. I don't know why, but
it's all right. I'll go golfing with my daughter.
Okay, great. Say hello to Addie for me. And also, my guy Bram. Bram-tastic. Bram
Stoker's Dracula.
Bram.
That's a good Bram call out there, but you didn't think of that.
I certainly didn't. But you and Lawrence Benedetto both. He put that in the Slack channel.
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
Very creepy movie when I was a kid.
Don't know anything about that, but I know about Bram, and Bram-tastic and Bram Delicious.
Eric Bochen. I'm going to take that voice personally.
Silly Bochen with a quip again, and I did take that personally.
What's up? Jake's in the
Jake
house.
Flanagan.
Here,
Yeah.
give me that. Give me that. I'll wear it. Can I go to Canton, please? Yes, please.
Yeah. Bram-tastic, Bram Delicious, Bram the man. Welcome to the Diehards, Bram.
This kind of looks like the way Kyle Long used to wear his helmet, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Chat. Do I look like Kyle Long?
It actually does. I agree. You do look Kyle Long-esque.
Doesn't this look Kyle Longish?
Yeah. No doubt. And I wish that Kyle Long
Kyle Long. I'm going to fight Akeem Hicks every day at practice.
Okay. Hey, thank you to one and all who chatted today. Thank you to Joey Spath stepping in to produce today. Thank you to Randy Trivers, the head coach at DeMatha High School, for joining us for 40 minutes today. Thank you to Charlie the Bacon Guy for sponsoring the softball team. CharlieTheBaconGuy.com, my man. First game is May 13th. I'm bringing that up, Spathis, because are you ready? So last year you departed the team after 2 weeks.
Born ready. I'll be there whole season.
Whole season
this year.
All right.
Going for the back-to-back.
You might get to pitch one game, too. I know you love to pitch.
Well, yeah, I'm relief pitcher. Fish is hurt or,
Week 2, he's out.
He's out week 2.
I'm mapping out the rotation.
yeah.
I think we might have a better option.
Circle my name. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised, Carm.
You might get an inning, at least.
Okay.
Maybe, certainly maybe more, if you can show your worthiness to the team.
What do you think, Joey?
Yeah, somebody just said in the chat, your face is getting real red with the helmet on.
You stay there for the rest of the day. Hey, big day coming. White Sox at home. Sox Post coming up. Ton of other stuff as well. We will see you tomorrow. Big guests continue to pile in, so stick around. I don't know if we have anything booked for tomorrow, but the next
we will.
But the next week is going to be locked and loaded. Have a great rest of your day. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching CHGO Bears. We'll see you tomorrow.